Hey everyone, I've done a ton of stuff since the last video and I don't want to walk through every single little thing, so I'm just going to do kind of a speed mode here. I added a hurt state to the character and modified the character so they turn red when you get hurt. I created a HUD for the players so you can see how much health you had at the top of the screen, and then I had to code that in and find a good size for it. And this is what it looks like when it's complete. I added a dust particle when the character jumps and also improved the spin with a rotation animation. One of the most requested features on the Discord was directional aiming for pushing and pulling on these blocks, which I added, but I originally tried it with this big cone thing and it didn't really work out, so it just uses a collision line to go to the next metal object. I decided I didn't want to do 100 different animations and draw them all myself, so I actually found this asset online. It's by this guy RVROS who made this amazing sprite with all the animations that I need pretty much for the entire game. So I'm going to be using this from now on. I just took the original one, colored the hair blonde, and modified some actions that he had to fit more of my game. I wanted to add in a melee attack for the characters, so I changed the sprites around, changed some of the attack speeds, and the way I had to do this inside the game, obviously you don't want the melee attack to count as part of your body because if an enemy touches you, you don't want to get hurt. So what's actually being done is I'm erasing out all of the attack parts of the sprite and then creating a separate sprite that has a collision box that will hurt the enemy if it touches them, and it'll just spawn out a completely new instance of the slash every single time you're trying to hit the enemy. As you can see, there's a little problem though, because you have the slash that's the collision for the enemies, but there's also the slash being drawn on the normal character sprite, so I actually had to go back in and paint that all out as well. The advantage of doing it this way was I was also able to change the scale of the slash. This can be an upgrade, or it just helps me when I'm debugging the game and trying to figure out a good size for the slash. One of my biggest inspirations for this game is Symphony of the Night, and one of the most popular features in that game is a backdash, so it didn't feel right to make this game without including that. My first attempts had me running into a lot of bugs, but you know, that's what happens with these things. I got the dash mostly working, and then I had to get started drawing a sprite for the dash. This was one of the few animations that wasn't actually included in the normal sprite. In the original code, it felt kind of blocky because if you entered into an attack animation, you were stuck in that until the animation was finished, but I added in attack and dash canceling so you could actually cancel out of an attack or cancel out of a dash by jumping or attacking or dashing. I tested out a second camera that was a lot closer when you were attacking enemies. Let me know if you get motion sick or anything from this, because it was just a little bit jarring for me. So clearly I'm still in a phase where I'm learning how to use particles. Let's start off with the blood particle that I did first. Getting something to spray blood is actually a lot harder than you might think. A whole bunch of things might happen, but eventually I did get a good looking blood spray. I got this particle visualizer called Geon FX, and I made this really cool flame particle, but for some reason when I transferred it into the game, it became this huge fireball of death. I eventually found out I was exporting code for Game Maker Studio 1, and that was the reason for the problem, so now everything's fixed and it looks really nice again. And I also found out that was the reason my blood wasn't looking quite the way I wanted it to before. Now it looks how I want it to. And the last thing I added before moving on was a dust particle when the character moves. I put the health of the character that you're fighting in the upper right corner. I added these new enemy sprites, and I also gave them some hit feedback so you could tell when they're taking damage. I also gave the game a bit of juice, so added in some screen shake, put in some particle effects that kind of make it look like they're exploding, and there's some dust particles, and there's a bunch of things combined that make it look really cool, I think. If you guys are liking these videos, be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out a lot, and ring that bell if you want notifications. And I love hearing from you, so if you have any comments, let me know if there's any suggestions you have for the games or the videos. I have a lot of fun making these, so pretty soon we're going to get into aerial combat, and we're also going to get into the Metroidvania style level design that I'm doing this next episode. So hope to see you then. Thanks for watching.